What's good, YouTube? We about to jump into this part 2. All the rumors on Durk's murder for hire. This one right here made by Trap Little Rose. We just continuing where we left off at part 1. Let's get into it. Well, actually, I fast forwarded a little bit, so we'll see.
On May the 11th, 2022, Lil Tim does an interview with Fuchsia's TV where he spoke on the Von situation. He didn't go too in detail about the events of that night, but he did boldly claim that he did what any good friend would want them to do.
What he did?
No matter.
Yeah, because listen, if you was chilling at the club with your home, and y'all, it's only a couple y'all, and it's a group of known hitters attack your man, what you supposed to do? What you would want your homie to do? So, I wasn't ever, like I said, I ain't picking sides. I don't think nobody was ever mad at Lil Tim for doing what he did. I think motherfuckers just mad that Von was the victim.
Where you at? Like, they would have wanted their partner to be there for them.
So while Quando and Tim were out here living life and speaking openly about their thoughts on this situation, behind the scenes, Quando's ops from different cities were making connections and plotting against him and his people. In May, S8K members seen on Instagram Live with O-Block members who were friends with King Von. It seemed like Lil Durk was still on the hunt and looking for ways to potentially get his revenge on Quando or Lil Tim for the death of King Von. And Durk wasn't even keeping this a secret. On June the 3rd, 2022, Lil Durk says that he's still
I be trying to tell her without saying too much. We trying there, little bone, bro, got bodies here, demon child, brothers to the devil.
Trying to nail him, i.e. kill Quando, on the track Keep Dissing 2 with Boston Richie. Durk would go on to liken himself to King Von, rapping, "Bro got bodies, he's a demon child, I'm brothers to a devil." After the Slide for Von trend had become so popular, it seemed to be common knowledge that Lil Durk and the people around him were openly trying to have Quando Rondo killed. But despite their earlier sentiments, Quando and Tim weren't all about the negativity. In August 2022, in an effort to give back to his community, Lil Tim did a book bag drive in a Savannah church. Unfortunately, despite making small positive steps,
I think they wasn't moving like that because of the ops. They was moving like that because Quando had his own Rico coming.
the negativity of gang life in Savannah
Cause I think he was getting banned. I think he got banned from his own hometown and shit by the feds. So yeah, they was trying to clean up their image because of that. It wasn't because of the ops.
would prevail. A few days before a scheduled trip to Los Angeles, one of Quando's close friends, Fendi, is killed in a shooting on West 38th Street. After cops responded to reports of shots fired around 3 a.m. on the 800 block of West 38th Street,
Savannah police were in the 800 block of West 38th Street investigating the shooting that left one man dead Thursday. Shortly after midnight, officers responded to reports of shots fired and found Phoenix Odom, 22, dead as a result of the shooting. The department tweeted about the incident around 3 a.m. with little details to share as the investigation continues. Man, y'all youngest got to stay out the way. 22 years old. At 22, I was on house arrest, most likely for a gunshot.
they would find 22-year-old Fendi, real name Phoenix Odom, dead at the scene.
Right now, a man dead, and police are scrambling to figure out who killed him. Here's a look at the crime scene on the west side of Savannah, where you can see investigators gathering evidence for hours overnight. Now, that shooting happened early this morning on West 38th and Bullock Streets. As soon as we learn more about what led to that shooting, we will bring it to you.
Unsurprisingly, Quando's enemies would mock the death of his close friend, but despite the tragedy that took place in Savannah, Quando and his team would press on with their trip to Los Angeles, where initially they'd seemingly be having a good time, as Quando and Lil Pab would post clips to
Yeah, and that was another crazy thing. That's how hot that fire got on little bro ass. He had just lost a friend in his hometown due to a gun violence and a murder, just to go to LA and get splashed on.
to social media, showing them in the back of a car, popping a bottle, and enjoying the good life. However, unfortunately, it was here in Los Angeles when tragedy would strike again. On August the 19th, 2022, just before 5:30 p.m., while sitting in their SUV, Quando Rondo and Lil Pab would be the targets of an assassination attempt.
Now, when they showed the camera footage, it looked like the dudes either popped up at that corner to your far right. Like if you look to the corner to your far right, you'll see an opening. That could be the alley they popped out at right there, or it could be the alley to the far left where the police at. They popped out right there. Now, where the truck was at, I can't really see for sure.
As 3 masked gunmen would approach Quando Rondo's car whilst parked at a gas station right near popular LA tourist destination, the Beverly Center, where these shooters would open fire. The police chief would later describe the shooters as having gotten out of a white car in dark clothing, shooting, and fleeing immediately after the shooting in what seemed to be a professional hit job.
Woo! And them boys making millions and breaking down shit like that. They are considered professionals at this point in time. Fuck that.
They gassed up their vehicle, and as they were getting into their vehicle, a white car approached from the alley. 3 men got out of that car. They were in all dark clothing. They approached, fired numerous shots, and then left in that white car going eastbound in the alley north of Beverly. It does appear that we don't see any kind of argument or anything go on beforehand, so clearly these men came here with a mission in mind.
Casey.
Yeah, alright, so they did pop out right there. That's where all the shells at. So they really was kind of right up on them. You know what I'm saying? I don't see, and they probably, I wonder if they mistook Pad for Rondo, because they do kind of look alike. In the heat of the moment, mistaken identity, a lot of people been smashed for that too. I think in that situation, it was smash everybody, and they just hit who they really could, but bless me. But yeah, that's what I think that was.
CAL News would give viewers a good look at the alley where the shots were fired from, and Fox 11 News Los Angeles would break down the entire series of events, explaining that the shooting took place at the gas station, which was followed by an attempt to flee by Quando's entourage, where they drove a short distance before pulling over to seek medical attention for Lil Pab, who was hit in the shooting.
Once that SUV is hit by the gunfire, they take off, they hit the gas, and they drive a few blocks away into West Hollywood. They wind up stopping over at Santa Monica and San Vicente, right in the very heart.
Yeah, people kept saying he wasn't hit, and I think that's something that he put out there. You know what I'm saying? But when I first saw some footage on this situation, when it had first happened, see, all the videos been, you know, remixed and moved around and all that shit. But when I first saw this, he was limping. He was limping bad. Even when he stepped back to talk to the police, he was limping. He had got shot in the leg, bro. I'm telling y'all. But he was more concerned about his people, you know what I'm saying?
Part of West Hollywood, you know, over there by the sheriff's station, also by the West Hollywood Park. They pull over there because the wounds to the man who was hit inside the Escalade too severe. He's bleeding. They pull over. 911 is called. Paramedics rush in. They take the injured man who's hit by gunfire to the ER. He does not make it, does not survive.
This essentially created 2 separate crime scenes, the scene of the shooting and the scene of where Quando's car stopped, with a KTLA-5 helicopter putting surveillance on both of these scenes soon after the incident. According to KCAL, when Quando's car stopped, a pedestrian flanked down a sheriff deputy who began to help Quando and a wounded Lil Pab in a dramatic scene that was captured on camera by bystanders.
And that's where sheriff deputies were then flagged down by a pedestrian during rush hour on a Friday, right around 5:30. They found the victim with a gunshot wound and...
You out of state, they know you ain't got no blicks out there for real. You know what I'm saying? Even though he supposedly checked in. If he checked in and whoever he checked in with ain't give him no blicks, and they supposed to be homies and they know he got shit going on like that, that shit kind of fishy, you feel me?
inside of a black Cadillac Escalade. Paramedics rushed him to the hospital. That is where we are told he died. His identity currently being withheld until family is notified.
Quando Rondo would be filmed by passers-by, breaking down at the scene and screaming in disbelief as his wounded friend Lil Pab is pulled from the car and given CPR, with this heartbreaking scene quickly going viral and being broadcast on most major news outlets.
Somebody got shot, bro.
I'm pressed.
Yeah, man, hey, it was crunchy, right? But you gotta remember, when King Von died, he was laying on the floor acting like Von dead body, all type of shit. You know what I'm saying? So
I get it. Can I get the space, please? Hello? Talk to my partner, okay? I'm gonna help you out. Hey, what was it? I don't know.
He ain't lying. You know what I'm saying? You sit in the car smoking and shots just get the ringing out. He don't know what the fuck happened. Niggas masked up. Everybody got on dark clothes.
Hey, what was that? I know, Maker. I know. What was it at?
Hey, shout out to Trap Lil Ross for blocking that out. That's probably the first real thing I seen you do for us. Good luck. My bad, y'all. These allergies kicking my ass. But yeah, shout out to Trap Lil Ross.
Unfortunately, Lil Pab would pass away in hospital as a result of his injuries, leaving Quando Rondo devastated, not just at the scene, but with later social media posts memorializing his close friend and cousin.
And they said Shorty had trucking business and some other shit going on. So at least he had his mind right. He was at least trying to do something right, man. That's, you know what I'm saying, that guilty by association shit. You out of town, you know your people's into it tough. You still gotta have your people's back, you know what I'm saying? Ah, that's crunchy. Rest in peace to Lil Pat.
Lil Pab was one of Quando's right-hand men, someone who had been there for him during his come-up and stayed by his side when the whole industry turned against him. Pab had now lost his life, highly likely as a direct result of the $1 million bounty placed on Quando's head following the killing of King Von. Ironically, with Pablo's death coming just a week before he was set to face trial for his 2019 RICO charges. But instead of Pab facing justice, Los Angeles police would now be looking to catch whoever did this brazen and professional murder. This was a brazen and professional hit, with the shooters clearly not caring about the fact
downtown Beverly Hills, however they say that shit in LA, California, wherever the fuck it's at. I'm from DC, don't know, don't care. All I'm saying is this: broad daylight and a major populated, what they call them people, tourist area like that. Hell yeah, that's some brazen ass shit. And they just like dropped them shots off, got the fuck and made it out the whole state. Gotta say it's professional.
that this took place in broad daylight.
That all come to resources, but your resources make you a profession at your craft. You know what I'm saying? You could be a great tattoo artist doing it with some jail shit, or you could be a great tattoo artist and I come to your shop and you got all the shit that's professional there. That's what make you, you know what I'm saying, a professional, I guess.
In a busy tourist district. In fact, this scenario was eerily similar to the murder of FBG Duck by members of King Von's gang, O-Block. After all, both of these shootings would seemingly take place right in front of popular tourist destinations. In this situation, Los Angeles' Beverly Center.
To give you an idea, shots rang out there and right across the street, the Beverly Center. Imagine that, 5:30 in the afternoon. Incredibly, no one else hit by the gunfire.
However, in the aftermath of the incident,
that right there is another thing that make it professional. All them shots, nobody else hit, no innocent bystanders.
there would be a lot of conflicting narratives regarding who was responsible. Members of the LA-based gang, the Hoover Criminals, would be quick to celebrate Quando's misfortune, no doubt a result of the feud between Quando and the Hoovers many years before.
I think they was just clout chasing though, as we obviously know. And that's another thing I wish our youngins stop doing, is stop clout chasing to the point where y'all claiming shit that don't have nothing to do with y'all. Not only is that a heavy energy, a heavy negative energy to bring on yourself or your life, it's also a good way to get your ass popped or bagged.
Interestingly, after the incident, posts would circulate with captions saying, "Not Durk's work," which, if you ask me, is a little bit suspicious. After all, Quando had been warned by the Hoovers when he went to LA in 2019, and since he's a member of
Oh man, thinking outside the box though. If I'm connected with you, and I know that the world looking at you, in order to throw everybody off, I'm gonna have some of my youngers over here who totally don't have nothing to do with nothing. I'm finna have them jump on there and claim the shit, say it ain't your work, knowing if the police go look this way, it'll divert their attention at least for a little while you get your thoughts in order. You know what I'm saying?
Savannah's Rollin' 60 Crips, and that the Hoover criminals are local enemies of Los Angeles' Rollin' 60s Crips, the Hoovers clearly had a grudge against Quando since he had been seen making a disrespectful hand sign towards the Hoovers a few years ago. But that was years ago, and at this point Quando's beef with the Hoovers seemed much more about social media, unlike his beef with the Chicago rappers, which had already claimed the life of King Von. And despite these early reports that the Hoovers were responsible for the shooting...
Now what I'm saying is, in reality, Quando either jumped into this with the Melly situation, with the jumping of Sack Chaser and Melly by YB, his people, and then Quando Rondo jumping in there with his people. Where the fuck is YB at when all this is going on? YB ain't sending no millions, ain't having nobody slide on nobody ain't going through O-Block, none of that. Like, what the fuck happened? That's why I say it always seemed like Slim got left out there by himself. You know what I'm saying?
It would actually be friends and associates of King Von who were quick to celebrate the most hard following the killing of Lil Pap. Friends of Von would post pictures of him on IG following the shooting, with some going as far as to say, ain't no time frame on that get back. Even posting pictures of Quando saying it should have been him. King Von and Lil Durk's DJ Bands would mock Quando Rondo, taking to Instagram saying that he was signing artists to Belt to Ass Records.
Belt to Ass Records, you know what I'm saying? We signed, man. Anybody could get signed, man. That's all you gotta do is play crazy out here. You get your ass signed, man.
O-Block member and friend of...
Yeah, they was signing them niggas up. I ain't gonna lie, sliding them up and signing them up.
King Von D Bands would later be on live in O-Block along with other gang members claiming to be smoking Lil Pap.
Tell him who we smoking. We smoking. What's dude name? Lil Pap at the beat.
Meanwhile, other OTF affiliates would mock Quando Rondo and tell fans to guess who they're smoking.
Seeing me be like, no!
But look though, man, they put that boy Von autopsy picture on the internet, man. We ain't seen no shit. Actually, if you ever been on Rotten.com, I think they had Aaliyah and Left Eye shit on Rotten.com when I was younger. But they put Von shit on like the internet, like regular internet. You ain't have to go to like no black web page or no, you know what I'm saying, adult site or none of that shit. That shit was on regular internet. Your kids could have saw that shit. And them niggas was doing the most heavy trolling, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, they getting back what they put out.
Y'all killing me with these nose. No! They killing me. Look at their nose. They killing me. Y'all killing me with these nose, man. No! Swiping, no swiping. Guess we rolling up this morning.
Even OTF affiliate Lil Vani, who had actually gone back and forth on Clubhouse with both Quando and Pab himself, would take to social media to mock Quando for losing two friends, saying that when it rains it pours, and that Quando should keep his chin up. Despite the disrespect coming from the people who wanted Quando and his friends dead, Quando's team would not be discouraged. Lil Tim would post tributes to Pab on his Instagram and his Twitter with a flurry of posts honouring his fallen friend. In one tweet, Tim tells Pablo to say what's up to Sosa and Stucky in heaven, and expressing disbelief about this sudden loss. Lil Pab's brother would also post from his account, saying that he was a real one who stood on business, and saying that he's got Quando's back forever. Even NBA Youngboy would post...
Finally, let's see. I'm good. What I truly want coming to me. Might be a little minute, but it's coming. I always got what I wanted, no matter if I had to pray for it or steal it. I got it. What the fuck?
Twice, seemingly indicating that Get Back was on the way, and saying that he truly wants what's coming to him, but it might take some time, even describing the situation as sad and wicked. Youngboy's ominous but tasteful statement would be in stark contrast to the other side. After many of Von's friends had posted disrespectful things on social media towards Quando, one person would stand out from them all, taking the disrespect to a whole new level. A few days after the shooting, a Chicago black disciple named Famous Richard makes a skit and music video mocking Quando's reaction.
Yeah, that shit was crazy. But don't forget, in part 1, they got Quando laying on the floor acting like Von when Von got shot. So, you know what I'm saying? It just, hey, the thing about revenge is this. Just because you steal $1 from me, don't mean if you got $1 million out, I'm only going to steal $1 from your ass. I'm stealing a whole million.
To the Lil Pab shooting.
Sheriff's deputies pulling out a man who had been shot in an SUV. This this man, a passenger in that car, frantic at the sight.
The song was literally called No, and the hook was Famous Richard just screaming no like Quando did when he saw Lil Pab die. This song was even promoted encouraging other people to do the impression of Quando shouting no, calling it the Quando Rondo Challenge. In response to this, Quando Rondo's friend Jump Out.
Y'all black ass make a challenge out of everything except to get a job challenge. Except to get them kids to their father challenge or take care of them kids challenge. Y'all make all the wrong motherfucking challenges, bro. Be worried about all the wrong shit.
Gang Black, the person who made the song King Tim's Story, would clap back with an IG story, saying that things are much deeper than they seem and that people are false claiming this incident, even adding that he is planning to make somebody pay. Meanwhile, a few days after the incident, amid the disrespect coming from King Von's friends and affiliated black disciples in Chicago, Lil Tim takes to Twitter to diss Slutty, tweeting "the Slutty way," a reference to King Von's friend Slutty, who had tried and failed to execute Tim the night Von died, ultimately end up being killed by the police. But once the
And that's what I said, the police killed Slutty. They shot the other dude damn near half of his head off. Like, bro, shit is permanently disfigured. And they said the police killed Von. All his, man, I don't know. I mean, niggas from Chicago that fuck with Von could have been lying saying the police killed Von to discredit Quando people, Lil Tim. Because I still don't understand how Lil Tim got self-defense if the police killed Von.
The dust settled on this incident, those involved would need to hop off the internet and begin to deal with the real-life consequences of the situation. In September, Lil Tim would be seen at Lil Pab's funeral, and while rumours had circulated that Quando wouldn't be attending the funeral, he'd later be seen carrying the casket along with Lil Tim and others. After the ceremony, Lil Tim would be popping champagne at Lil Pab's wake. And considering just how much of Quando's great artistry has come from him channeling his pain into great songs, it's no surprise that it didn't take him long to open up about the death of his right-hand man Pab in Pain songs. On August the 30th, 2022, Quando Rondo opens up about the situation on the song Give Me a Sign with NBA Youngboy, rapping that people were testing him and now a rapper got killed, as well as saying it...
Y'all had some niggas trying to test me. You just to see the deal. Then I'll be damned. It really happened. Now a rapper got killed. It broke my heart seeing my nigga get hit up with that steel. On top of that, get hit with murder for protecting his crib.
Broke his heart to see Lil Tim get shot and then charged with murder.
Oh, yo, I told y'all that nigga Von was he was foul on that motherfucking mic. Then they come out to about some nigga in Chicago in jail set for life was writing all King Von songs and shit. I don't know.
Just for protecting him. Elsewhere on the song, NBA Youngboy raps about King Von sleeping with his ex, saying that he couldn't cope with it, and saying that him and Quando have been blackballed in the music industry for what Lil Tim did to King Von. This would give fans an insight into the pain that Quando and Youngboy had been going through, living with the consequences of King Von's death as a result of their rap beef. But what was still a mystery was who exactly was responsible for this most recent murder of Lil Pab.
Wasn't no mystery. Niggas was snitch, internet snitching like a motherfucker. You have Brick Baby with his shit. Oh, you can't say don't slide for Von no more. Then you had Durk with his shit. I don't be saying them comments no more. You be saying them comments? I don't be saying them comments no more. Eyes ass. You know what I'm saying? And then it just, man, if you was tapped into any of the shit, you knew, man.
Soon, the internet would begin piecing together the clues, with a suspicious eye being cast towards the LA branch of the Rolling 60s Crips. Now initially, Quando seemed to have a connection
that still don't absolve them because listen, one of y'all own from a branch that's outside of there came and checked in with the main people, and then he don't got no iron, he don't got no protection, he just hit up by somebody. And far as what we've learned from the internet and TV and shit like that, and from watching Like No Jumper, politics don't work like that with y'all. Y'all don't let shit go down like that with, you know what I'm saying? So it was some type of hands shook and palms greased to allow certain shit to go down a certain way, plain and simple.
The LA wing of the same gang he represented in Savannah. He had been seen with Rolling 60s members in LA on his previous trip when he was pressured by the Hoovers, and it seemed that Quando was familiar with that age-old process where the world of rappers and gangsters collide, known as checking in. This is the idea that rappers have to contact the local gang and negotiate protection whilst visiting a new city. This checking in process may...
People always talk about why I gotta check in. Let me tell you this. What's the first thing you see any of these bloggers or anybody else do when they go to these favelas, when they go to these foreign countries and shit? They ask check in with the street people and get permission to be able to walk through them neighborhoods without getting their ass bagged up, killed, kidnapped, all type of shit. So why you don't have the same respect when it come to going to somebody else's state?
May or may not involve a payment, or it might simply operate on a mutual respect being shown. Many rappers like Lil Baby have seen showing love to LA's Rolling 60s as part of an apparent checking in process. Here's Lil Baby in Rolling 60s territory with legendary Rolling 60s Crip rapper Nipsey Hussle. A former Crip leader by the name of Big U actually broke down the process of checking in to Charlemagne in an interview on The Breakfast Club.
Explain extortion to us. What would
I mean, look though, because like he said, it could be mutually respect. So if a nigga is hitting you for an extreme amount of money, I'm guessing you paying tithes to the gang, or you getting extorted.
do rappers really be getting extorted by the gang members?
Because if you coming out here, you eating, and you in the club, and nobody know you, and you bringing your crew, then what happened?
You fool.
You fool.
Interestingly,
which I understand on both sides of the coin. Why I gotta be food? Why I can't just be enjoying myself out of town, out of state, and having a good time with my friends, going on about my business?
Quando had actually had numerous interactions with legendary LA Crip Big U in the lead up to this tragic incident. Big U had claimed on The Breakfast Club that Quando had reached out to him for protection and suggested that despite claiming Rolling 60s, Quando had never showed him love until he begun having problems with Durk.
I mean, he say showed him love. He ain't talking about love, nigga. He talking about he ain't never gave him no paper until it came to this shit.
After Von's death.
You know, you got a lot of dudes, like when I was here last time, that claim my neighborhood that's in this music, but they don't really us until it's a problem. Then they call him. Like Quando Rondo. I just showed Envy. Like, you can't call me now. You can't call me when the fire hot. You didn't me before that. You know what I mean? You had my number, you could have called me, you could have did all that.
This comment elicited a response from Quando, who denied ever calling Big U for protection, instead saying that he was asking how he could give back to the Rolling 60s in LA.
Yeah, see, he's like he's saying he wasn't asking for protection. He was trying to pay his tithes, which would have guaranteed him protection. He ain't got to ask for it.
Time for me to start straightening my face, politics wise. You feel me? It's time for me to leave this street in the streets and just play my role with this internet. I never once called nobody, no on planet Earth for no protection. Because I don't fear no man. Why would I wait to get in some anybody that I ever called? I call on some like, how can I help? How can I do this? How can I do that? I never called no person on planet Earth for protection.
Big U would reply to this, claiming to have love for Quando, but also suggesting that he was planning to pull up on him and that he was in his town.
First of all, I never talked to Quando. You know, it ain't nothing but love with Quando. And I was only addressing something that
And he lightweight trying to put like a passive aggressive bully press down. You know what I'm saying? And I see where they be coming from. It do seem a little extortionist when, you know what I'm saying, you could peep that passive aggressiveness.
Charlemagne said to me, and the nephew reaching out to do something for the kids, definitely do that. Because I never talked to him. He just asked me if somebody reached out. I just feel like I know cuz and I've been knowing him, and I never heard from him after we had a conversation maybe a year and a half ago. No.
So, I know cuz I've been knowing him. Like I said, I just never heard from him after we had a conversation a year and a half ago. Conversation been, what's up with that money you claiming the set type shit, right? Rondo probably hit him with some little foo-foo shit, slid off on him, ain't get back at him. Now that shit is getting real, you calling trying to see where you could send them funds at, and niggas is looking at you like, hey, man.
Maybe 2 years ago, and then so when he called me, I'm only on positive vibes. So I'm gonna pull up on cuz, or he can pull up on me. I'm in this town right now, so, but I ain't got nothing but love for nephew. And he talked to my son them a week ago about whatever they was talking about. So I'm gonna leave it at that.
Big U would claim to not be doing anything with Quando if it's about anything negative.
Quando want to do something for the kids, for the family. I'm definitely with him on that. You know, definitely support him. But no.
Dang, that made me think back to when Brick Baby said some shit like, yeah, he reached out to the big homie, and the big homie is the streets, but we the guys with the feet on the pavement, and he not in the age group of people that you're beefing with. So even though big homie could reach out to Brick Baby, which would be damn, what the fuck is his name? Big U. Even though Big U could reach out to Brick Baby, he still has to reach out to Brick Baby because Durk associates with Brick Baby because that's his age group. So I could see OG getting up there saying, I ain't doing nothing with him unless it's positive, books and shit for the kids, shit like that. But in reality, he probably done took that cash and he done sent the word out. Alright, look, man, little homie good when he come on this side. But because Brick Baby is connected to Slim, you know, Brick Baby still got a choice to make. Yeah, he good on y'all half. The OGs might ain't gonna fuck with him, but you know what I'm saying? We'll even stand down. But while we standing down, I'ma still get a green light to these other niggas, cause it ain't none of us. You said none of us can't touch him, and he cool. We respected it. But the other niggas who we done let slide through the radar, we ain't pressed out on them, riding around in these type cars and shit, they in the hood. Them niggas, they could do what they do. Like he said, he also said, none of my young niggas ever crash out in Beverly Hills in broad daylight. That definitely wasn't us.
Nah, if it ain't positive, man, I'm not rocking with it. I'm just not rocking with nothing unless it's positive. 100. Period. So I'm not even taking negative calls, man. I'm not looking for no negative calls. I'm not taking negative calls. If I think it's gonna be negative,
Hey, this nigga been in the game for a long time. This was a perfect way to disassociate yourself with this whole situation. Said this about it, left that shit at that.
not taking it. If it ain't positive, it ain't about doing something constructive, helping these kids, I'm out of it. But no, I never talked to nephew. You know what I mean? I never talked to him as he called me, cause I'm on all positive vibes. But
yeah, and all them LA niggas, not saying that they all hot, but they all seem to be plugged in with a different type of knowledge as far as what be going on with the law. If you ever listen to Whack 100, right? So in my mind, thinking outside the box, him thinking, alright, cool, Shorty got his own RICO that's already forming in Savannah. So I ain't get ready to talk about nothing on the phone with his ass. Don't try to link up with me on no crip big homie shit and throwing no nothing. If it ain't positive, I ain't hearing it, because he know that he got a RICO going on. Quando Rondo got a RICO going on. So him saying I ain't fucking with nothing unless it's positive was him disassociating himself with it in case some gang shit happen, but also getting away from the whole RICO situation. Look, y'all know what I'm doing. I'm over here on the West Coast. I only come over there unless I'm doing interviews or some shit like that, and it's all on some positive shit. And when you come out here, different laws type shit.
I will talk to Quando.
And months later, Big U would appear on No Jumper in an interview where he seemingly apologized to Quando and indicated that there had been a miscommunication.
Somebody got to be a man at some point and say they was wrong. Like as far as Quando Rondo, I was wrong for saying it, but he was wrong for not reaching to his homeboy. And then on the same line that I reached out to you, you reached back out to me on it. You know what I'm saying? But I apologize to my homeboy. You know what I'm saying? Because that's where it starts and stops. Somebody got to apologize. They was wrong. I was wrong.
And then, a couple of months later, in August 2021, Quando is in Los Angeles on a trip the year before the death of Lil Pap. And on this trip, he would appear in a sit-down interview with Big U himself, the ridiculously titled Checking In podcast on World Star Hip Hop, with Big U starting off the podcast welcoming Quando to LA.
Checking in with my young fella Quando.
Whoa. Why all these LA niggas be all big swole ass niggas? That's how I look. Down south nigga, East Coast nigga, LA nigga.
Yeah, man. What's up, young fella?
Coolin'.
Is you in California, huh?
You dig?
You see? You know what I'm saying? Man, I'm glad to have you, man.
These two would seemingly patch over their past feud and exchange mutual apologies, with Big U elaborating, saying that his nephew said that he did Quando wrong and vouched for him.
As a man, my little homie called me, and he told me, Unc, you was wrong. But I'ma say I was wrong, too, because you said I was wrong.
This was an interesting interview where Quando would open up about a lot of things he was going through during this time. Quando feels that every song he puts out, people assume he's dissing certain people, but he says he has so many beefs going on that people actually get it wrong.
I be saying like a lot of stuff I say like in songs and stuff like, this ain't the only person I have a problem with. Like, I ain't talking to this person. Anything say, they gonna put it that way.
Quando would also explain that his enemies are actively trying to stop his money by making shows so dangerous that
dangerous and just literally just having them joints emptied out. Buy the tickets, don't leave nobody there. I mean, even if you came and got your money as an artist, you came to perform. And damn, it ain't nobody at the show. That mean it ain't no word of mouth about the next show. It was nobody to go home and say, damn, yo, Quando killed that shit. Tell the next person so the next person will go. Hey, that'll fuck your flow up.
That venues keep on cancelling.
They trying to stop my money. You feel me? Fans thinking I'm high, and when they don't know, like I'm dying to do shows and stuff.
Big U would also explain the process of checking in with Quando, saying exactly what a rapper should expect if they check in with the Rollin' 60s in LA.
You might check in with me. I'm gonna tell you what clubs to go to and what clubs not to go to. They ain't dealing with the right people. If I go to Chicago, if any of my artists is going different places, I tell them call this dude. Because he treated me right, he gonna treat y'all right.
Quando would also claim that he...
And you gotta respect that. That's why I said I don't see how people don't have that type of respect when they come to our own people. Like if you at home in your own neighborhood and you hold shit down and some niggas just come post up in your shit and get to doing XYZ, y'all gonna get on their ass, you know what I'm saying? But if niggas come through and they talk about some shit and they had some understanding, shit work a little different.
He could never stop being a Crip.
I'm real heavy like on cripping, period. I'm gonna do that till the day I die. Sometimes I ask the Lord, when I be asking the Lord for forgiveness, first thing pop up in my head is, why I can't stop being no Crip though. You feel me?
Quando would explain that you don't have to be a killer to be a Crip, and that anyone can identify as a Crip.
I always tell them like, cuz, you don't have to be a killer to be a Crip. You don't have to be no shooter to be no Crip. You ain't gotta be no jack boy to be no Crip. You can be a dentist and be a Crip. You just a Crip. That's a dentist.
Quando and Big U seemingly left things on good terms after this interview. However, a year later, after the Los Angeles assassination attempt on Quando Rondo that claimed Lil Pab's life, Big U would appear on social media, seemingly taking a dig at Quando, saying that if he took a loss, he wouldn't leave his gang, and there would be no crying from him.
Imagine all the dudes and what's up with a storm.
Nah, nigga. Nah, nigga. Nah, if you the big homie, and young nigga done came out there, y'all done shook on it, y'all done talk shit out. When he came back out there, y'all should have been protecting that nigga, or at least like you said, letting him know how to slide, where to move at. That's how I feel. That's my take on it. And as far as him dropping his flag, I don't know how they carry it with shit like that. But if you just went out of town and you traveling on air that your flag is like your hood pass, and the niggas who done stamped your hood pass over there just allow for you to damn near almost lose your life and cause your cousin to get killed in the process, I ain't mad at that nigga neither. You gotta stand on your own tent sometime.
Okay, they folded their tent, they went inside, or they shut down. No, they ain't want no real do. When it get hard for me, I get quiet, I get still. Because I need to hear all the doors is opening.
Then, a week later, on September the 6th,
Woo! That was powerful. When it get hard, sit quiet, sit still, and just listen to all the doors that's open. Man.
2022, Quando Rondo would come out on social media.
I'm not jump out gang either. Ain't no loyalty in this shit. I'm my own man. I lay my own flag down. I'm not NH. Y'all ain't gonna ride for a nigga for real. It's no sense in me being a part of y'all shit. Y'all fuck with the oppositions. I don't give a fuck who feel hit. Fuck you. And if you can't feel where I'm coming from on this, you a bitch ass nigga, cause it don't take a rocket scientist to see what the fuck going on. Everybody already hate me. I ain't tripping on the extra hate. I'm about to focus on my family, the ones who really drop a tear if I die.
Media to say publicly that he's no longer representing the Rolling 60s neighborhood Crips and that he's laying his blue bandana down, essentially explaining that the
Hey, it was that situation, but it was also the fact that he had that fucking RICO case coming for being that gang leader.
Rolling 60s neighborhood Crips in LA are linked up with his ops, essentially inferring that someone from the LA Rolling 60s is who set him up to get shot at in LA, leading to Lil Pab's death, all on behalf of somebody trying to avenge King Von, with Quando saying it don't take rocket science to see what's going on, and ending the message saying that he's now just going to focus on his family and his loved ones. In response to this, LA Crip Jay Stone would reply saying you can't just drop your flag and quit the gang, and that real Crips lose homies all the time, and not everyone is going to slide for you. Quando would seemingly respond to this with a follow-up post, essentially warning people, would reply saying,
you can't drop your flag and say you not no homie no more. Nigga, go to the hood and get your put off. Told his ass to go get jumped out. Don't cry now. We lose homies all the time. Not everybody gonna ride. You was a goofy / internet banger anyway.
saying you can't just drop your flag and quit the gang, and that real Crips lose homies all the time, and not everyone is going to slide for you. Quando would seemingly respond to this with a follow-up post, essentially warning people not to talk about him, saying he doesn't care because he's rich, has 200k, and can knock down anyone in his way. One theory about how the Rolling 60s might have set up Quando Rondo has been linked to an LA-based Rolling 60s rapper by the name of Brick Baby. Brick Baby dropped a verse on YG's 2016 song, the menacingly titled track Don't Come to LA, a song all about
2016. Now listen, cause I heard this song before. But if you didn't ever hear this song kind of sound extortionist, man. Fuck what they talking
robbing and shooting out of towners. He'd also openly claimed not to like Quando in an August 2021 No Jumper interview, calling him out for claiming Rolling 60s and trying to get Big U and the LA Crips to try and squash his beef with Lil Durk and the Black Disciples, essentially saying that Quando needs to check in every time he comes to LA.
It's like Quando Rondo.
You're not with him.
Boy, stop. Don't come to the 60s and want to provide now that.
See, hold on, my bad. I'm gonna let him go.
That bro, that boy your ass.
Well, that's gotta be weird for you.
Don't want to come and provide now. Now you trying to reach out to niggas and provide this money for this function and that. You trying to pay your tithes so you could get that normal protection that's guaranteed underneath that flag.
Yeah, because you with Durk so much.
It ain't weird for me. You know what I'm saying? You're not from Rolling 60s.
Oh, really?
You're not from LA Rolling 60s. You're not from Rolling 60s.
Right.
You gotta come talk to the streets.
Hey, that's part 2. I'm gonna jump into part 3 when I get back. Y'all drop it in the comments. Don't forget to let me know what y'all think. Great minds think alike. Hey, peace and love. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe at Already Clouded TV. Catch me next time.